What's up, boys? Today we're doing some Interrogator. We're looking for the Nishanka Bolt Shark. We're going to add a bunch of different elements and then hopefully convert it into a Nova at level 18. So we can hit the entire screen with up to 4 different status effects from that one weapon. And then we're also looking for some projectile weapons to add some more fire rate to it. And we're of course always looking for the weapon box to hopefully add a cool 5th weapon to the build, and also scale up the artifacts that go with either total weapon tags or overclocks overall so we can get a lot of reload speed. That's about it. Multi-element Interrogator, projectile based. The Interrogator doesn't have a lot of projectile weapons though, so that might be kind of hard. However, I think most of the time you take the weapon box, you have a decent chance of getting a projectile weapon, since that's one of the most common tags overall, just not on the Interrogator.
The supply pod LZ is blocked. Please clear it out.
Oh yeah, I also wanted to get some decent acid weapons. Since it has that tag by default, we can use the acid upgrades to increase both the damage and the potency. Let's see, out of these I could grab the Subata, because that can be converted to acid and it has projectile. And the only projectile weapons I remember other than the Nishanka are that and the experimental plasma charger here. So I think the Subata actually fits pretty nicely if we can get the acid conversion for that. I'll take some big armor for a damage over time build. Take some more flamethrower levels. Big fire rate for the Subata. Helps it debuff. If we get any good conversions for it. I think the Nishanka actually does have 3 unstable overclocks now. You have the one where you fire all the bolts at once, the electrical explosion. Let's try and get some good damage on this guy early on so that he isn't as much of a pain. And then the Nova, which was added a couple patches ago, I think. But that's the one I'm looking for. Luck. Keep him in the flamethrower beam as long as possible. He's probably low enough we don't really have to worry about him now. Interrogator honestly has pretty good early game damage now. I've never had an issue with shellbacks on the first stage with them. But there are plenty of class mods where I have had issues with them early on. We will take a paint job for that, I think. Not really going into fire-based stuff, I think. I don't mind taking some potency on the flamethrower, but I'm not really looking to just pump the levels on it at the cost of other stuff. Fire rates or big XP. Let's go this super early, I think. especially with all those detonators giving me some juicy XP. Some pickup to go with that. Oh yeah, I do have the nitro scanner.
For crap's sake, move it! They're everywhere.
Status damage should work with basically everything. I will take a purple there. And then the sludge pump is pretty good. Unfortunately, we didn't see the Nishanka early. I could grab that to mine for me. I do that all the time. We'll take a level for the Supata. Luck.
Satisfied. The drop pod is arriving. Get
Sludge pump damage, sure. We'll take levels on that since I'm going to go fairly heavy into acid, I think. Oh yeah, beam stuff. Oh well. Potency. Fire rate, you can see what we get here. I'll pass on fire. We'll just increase the clip size, some more pickup. I guess it does help right now. We'll take a bit of mining speed to go with the scanner. And then I have 155 to look for the Nishanka here. And hopefully that's enough. Okay, there we go. Another nice armor.
The drop pod is about to leave. Get your ass moving, miner.
So we have 2 projectiles, 2 beams. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty weird actually. Oh well. We'll take, I guess, the damage? Nah, I don't really care about the flamethrower. We'll pump the lifetime on that up a bit.
You made short work of stage 1. Well done, miner.
Bit of mining speed. I could grab the potency, but I just don't care that much about it.
What else?
So we do have a nice acid there and a nice status. Let's grab the potency. And then I guess I'll save those 2. That's some of the biggest damage we can get for the build, I think.
This mission pay off handsomely.
Swarm's heading your way. Load up.
I still wish you could choose from a variety of different starting weapons for each class mod, so that you could customize your build a bit more. We'll take a paint shop, see what we get there, +1 beams. Like, I think Interrogator should at least be able to start with a sludge pump, and maybe one of the damage over time grenades as well. Would be pretty cool. I guess I will take that. +1 beams. It's not bad, it just doesn't really fit what I'm going for later on.
The scanner just lit up like a Christmas tree. We
We are not really seeing any Nishanka levels here. Hopefully I'll have a bit more success in the shop with all the nitra. Sludge pump, it looks like. Finally, a reload speed. Let's go for a bit more pickup here, and try and get some more damage on the shellback. He's pretty healthy right now. Status damage. More pickup. Luck. Subata, still try and find the acid conversion for that. The Nishanka level. Alright, we need some decent shot buys here. With all of that nitra and 2 scanners. Those just don't really do that much for damage over time, but that's also damage. I'll grab a bit of crit, I guess. Potency, or a big crit. I guess we'll take a bit of that. Should be pretty good on the Subata and the Nishanka, I think. We'll grab some more XP. Since I will have a lot of acid stacks increasing the weapon damage from some things, I guess it's not terrible. Nishanka. So we can grab the big damage, paint job. I guess I will grab some cheap levels for that since we have so much nitra. Paint job again. No acid, rip. We could use some reload, but I'm pretty light on gold compared to nitra right now. That's actually useless now that I can't have it as acid, rip. So I only really have 2 weapons, I guess. Okay, nice. There we go. Add the cryobolt. Damage, reload. Little bit of projectile, I guess.
You have your objectives. Get it done, miner.
I also wish there was something where the more weapons of a single element you had, the more likely you would be to get a damage conversion to that element. So since I had 2 other acid weapons, it would be cool if there was a higher chance of getting acid conversions for the Subana.
Swarm detected. Get ready. They'll be with you shortly.
And also, upgrades like that acid that increase the potency seem to apply to the entire thing. So we've got a nice amount of potency, and that works on both of the, well, I guess all 3 of the different elements it shoots now. And hopefully 4 soon, when we get it to level 12. Paint job is pretty helpful to push the overclocks if we ever get the artifact for that. Divers is okay, but we can do better early on. Like a 3rd nitro scanner on the 3rd floor, sure.
Exemplary work. You've achieved your objective in record time.
The issue is I'm probably going to be running out of gold for shop rerolls when I'm looking for relevant weapon levels, since it's really just the sludge bump and the Nishanka now, with the Tsubata being kind of useless.
Swarm detected. Get ready. They'll be with you shortly.
I think reload is more useful than damage on that. Nishanka. Because the Nishanka has 50 piercing as a precise weapon, it can hit the elites pretty far away and pierce through everything in their way.
Threat level increasing.
Sludge pump weapon level, I think. Really sucks I couldn't get the Tsubata acid conversion here. That would have been so helpful. let's go ahead and grab the second overclock here. I think probably lifetime. The only thing relevant there is the reload speed for me, so that just seems like a lot more stats. Big crit chance, sure.
Stage 3 completed. Remember to mine for minerals as you progress deeper.
Nishanka times 2 potency, bit of weapon range since we have a lot of nitro for those two. Potency, some global damage. Grab a bit of HP to go with the armor I've gotten. Nishanka, Firebolts, we got all 4, just need to get level 18 in the Nova now.
What else we got?
Sludge Pump,
Barely go for this one.
14, probably can't really buy a lot after that, I'll grab some crit.
I want it.
You've got work to do and quotas to meet. You have your objectives.
Big pickup.
The scavengers lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming. Objective completed.
Nishanka.
A swarm is heading your way. Load up. Resupply prepared. Clear the landing zone of obstacles.
Nishanka.
Big swarm detected. Lock up and get ready. Prepare for impact.
Big status damage. Divers is decent, but we can do better with a bunch of rerolls still. XP scanner, these are pretty nice. I actually do want that for the Nishanka, but stage 4 XP scanner it is. Nishanka. fire rate for the Nishanka and the useless Subata.
Threat level keeps increasing. We need to work faster.
Just
Guess what's on the menu? More bugs. And they're pissed.
Big crit chance. Fire rate, reload, how we looking on there? 3 is a pretty long reload time on my main weapon, so let's try and get that down a bit so it's a bit more consistent.
Gotta move it, Miner. The bugs are gunning for you. Progress satisfied. The drop pod is arriving. Get moving.
Another Nishanka or big crit damage. I do have a decent amount of crit chance, so maybe that'll be worth it. With all of the debuffs we're applying as well.
Gotta move on, Miner. The drop pod will head out momentarily.
I guess we go for the flamethrower. It's actually more useful than the Subata now,
Excellent work, Miner.
since we're stacking status damage.
Onwards to stage 5.
Acid. It's not terrible, and we do have a lot of Nitra. I guess grab some reload speed for that. Bit of movement.
show me more.
Some nice sludge pump levels. Plus 3 beams. We don't need a paint job for the Nishanka.
Gonna roll the dice on this one.
Don't need damage for that.
Let's shake it up.
Fire rates. And we got the Stormy Mag, that's what I was looking for.
Overclock. My favorite.
Don't really care.
More options.
Status, we can lock that. Grab some acid.
Gimme.
The dreadnought will emerge when you destroy the small cocoons. And watch out for elites. Keep your cool. You'll make it out just fine.
I think I'm going to take the shield belt to get it out of the artifact pool, so that we're more likely to hit something decent. There's still a lot of artifacts to go, and some pretty cool ones like Weapon Box and the ones that scale with that.
Well done. You got them all.
We might want to get that to level 18 eventually, just for the overclock scaling thing. So paint jobs are helpful for that. fire rates. It's getting kind of hard to see with all the numbers. Coupons to go with the 3 Nitra. I'm not even sure if I can spend all of that, but we'll try. Potency or global. Take some global damage. These are not great, so just take whatever gives a level, I guess. My range is actually pretty small with the beam weapon, so if I want to maximize damage I have to be really close since we're mainly going projectile here. Nishanka. Acid.
Gather up your spears and get onto that drop pod. It's about to leave. That elite never stood a chance. I will see to it there is a beer on the house when you make it back. If you make it back.
Ooh, double purple status.
I'm having an epic
Since we froze one of them. Paint job's pretty efficient
got
there.
options.
That perfectly finishes that one off. I don't think I really care about this. It's a little bit easier to aim that one,
Overclock says it's
and you can get
time
more
to
single target
kill.
damage by having them right behind you.
Next.
Don't need any of that.
What else?
Nishanka. Don't really
Surely
care.
next time will be
Fire rate for
better.
the Nishanka or status. Probably use a bit more fire rate.
Hell,
And we can
yes.
lock that if I really want it. Not sure.
We've got work to do and quotas to meet. You have your objectives.
I really could have used a gold scanner on this run since there's a lot of good global upgrades. The acid damage plus potency, status damage, global damage, fire rate and reload for the Nishanka.
Sorry. Your own fault for being
Swarm detected. Get ready. They'll be with you shortly.
How's the reload on the sludge pump? 3.87, that's still pretty long. And damage is the least useful stat for that. We're more interested in potency, fire rate, reload speed, basically anything else. I'm not really in love with any of these. Another XP scanner, pickled nitra, that would almost certainly kill me. Guess we go another XP scanner.
Big swarm detected. Lock up and get ready.
Global damage or some reload. Just take the highest one here, I guess. I still think the shield belts could use a bit of a buff too, since there's such a long cooldown. Maybe they could reduce the damage of the hit that triggers them by like 30% or something, I don't know. If you're only taking a hit every once in a while, that'd actually give a pretty good boost to survivability as well. Ah, the stupid freezes on the detonators. Let me turn numbers off for a bit so I can try not to get hit anymore. Ah, some reload. I didn't even see anything there. Status, potency.
I want another go.
Potency, Nishanka stats that are pretty nice.
I'm feeling lucky.
Weapon range, status, cheap leveled there.
Nothing for me here.
Potency, acid, cheap leveled there.
You have your objectives. Get it done, miner.
Potency.
Detected. Get ready. We'll be with you shortly.
Where is all the red sugar hiding?
The swarm is heading your way. Load up. Well done. You got them all. Can't plant the supply pod. Impact zone is cluttered. Get it fixed.
There it is. Fire rates. Multi-tool? I should have a good amount of tags with the weird selection of weapons I have here. So the reload on that is 2.12. Fire rate probably. We go down to 1.57, not too bad.
Satisfied. The drop pod is arriving. Get moving. It won't hang around.
Potency, we can finish that off or grab some reload. We'll probably get a level for that in the shop. We'll push the Nishanka as high as possible. With a full Elemental Nova build.
That elite never stood a chance. I will see to it there is a beer on the house when you make it back. If you make it back.
Probably gonna need my gold here.
Lucky.
Damage, I guess. Not super useful.
Help me work. Surely next time.
Acid is nice. Potency, fantastic. Luck,
Don't see these, they're nothing for me here.
potency. We can finish that off with potency now. Let's go with some burning zones here. So it'll kind of match the sludge bump. Reload for that.
More options
Nishanka.
calling to me.
I guess I may as well.
There's beasties to shoot and work to be done. Get to it, miner.
Hope this mission pay off handsomely.
The scavengers lit up like a Christmas tree. We have a swarm incoming. Objective completed. Excellent job.
Acid and potency.
Fight for your life. The big swarm is approaching.
I do want both of these. I think this fits the status effect stacking a bit more for the Nishanka. Might be better, but I just want to apply as much stuff as possible with the Nishanka here. Not really super useful, probably just a bit of movement speed here. Potency reload. We could probably use some more reload to go with that fire rate artifact. Nice magnets. Potency. Sludge pump.
See these every day. Let me try again.
Nishanka, potency,
Next.
luck. There's a little bit more to go. Potency,
Stronger. Nothing for me here. Let's try again.
potency. Don't care about these, I think.
Nope. Try
Plus one
again.
beams. I'll lock that. I guess I do have a ton of nitra.
Looks best.
I could maybe do one more
Better
reroll.
roll the dice on this
Have a
one.
couple more sludge pump upgrades.
Get to work. There's aliens to be killed and gold to be mined.
Probably some more gold. You can have multiple copies of that one, I believe, so taking one of them doesn't really help you that much. Unless you really need the healing on level up. Which there were some points in this run where that would have been helpful.
Just one.
Swarms heading your way. Load up. Bypass active. Locate the LZ. Heavy for landing.
Nishanka.
Big swarm detected. Buck up and get ready. Bypass swarm detected. Get ready. They'll be with you shortly.
I just don't think I can pull that off. These are okay. Since that's global damage, that should apply to the damage over time effects as well.
Think you can kill me? Well, think again.
Thought he was gonna bounce into me and I thought I could get out of the way in time. But he just ran me over anyways. Don't really care. I guess a bit of range does help out the sledge pump, which is my second best weapon. That feels like a lot of damage for an invisible bug sometimes, since you usually can't see them behind the rocks.
That elite never stood a chance. I will see to it there is a beer on the house when you make it back.
Big acid, some Nishanka, damage doesn't really help that much.
Let me try again.
Big acid, potency, weapon range.
Perfect dwarf. Next.
Luck? Probably don't need any more
What
now.
else we got?
Acid, Nishanka.
Gimme.
We have one reroll to try and find some Nitra. Nope.
This is the big one, Miner. Find and destroy the cocoons and take out that dreadnought.
I think I do have a few artifact rerolls left, so we can look for the pickled Nitra now. And maybe turn damage numbers back on unless I'm about to die. See how much those have ramped up. Nishanka. See if we can clear out a nice big area in the middle so that the elemental nova will be constantly hitting a lot of stuff, so that we can always have a clear shot on the boss. Bit of movement. Divers is pretty good, but we could probably find something more interesting than that. Nah. Encabulator? We have everything fully overclocked. I could go down to 140-ish HP. I'd die to probably even one hit from some trash mobs. We'll take that, get some very nice reload on the Nishanka. 0.9 from a base of 6, not too bad. And some nice global damage on top of that. Can't really mind the rest of the stuff, but we got a decent portion of it earlier. I got the 2 scaling artifacts, just no weapon box to go with them. Get him in the burning and acid zones, try and maximize the damage. Oh, he's doing the charge spam! I guess that's not a Juggernaut only thing, huh? I've only ever seen that when I was doing tank builds on Juggernaut before. So I'm actually not sure what the trigger for that is then. Every time it's happened, I had a pretty defensive Juggernaut gunner build, but this is pure damage, status effect Interrogator. My only survivability thing here is the shield belt, and that's trash. 30-second cooldown. Everything else is damage or scanners. Not sure. Oh no, my mining speed's so slow. So we got the 4 elemental Nova on the Nishanka. We got some nice artifacts to go with that. A lot of fire rate. Some pretty nice reload speed. Some pretty good acid upgrades to give it some global potency and some decent damage. To a potency of 101 with 4 different elements. And we fire the Nova at the end. That's a lot of levels for not having a single legendary on that. But not too bad. Only 1 basic rarity. The damage to the weapon itself probably wasn't amazing, but we do have a decent amount of acid stacks and a couple electrical to ramp it up a bit as well. I'm not even going to try to do all of the dot breakdowns. We have 2 different acid weapons. This one has 2 different, actually 3 different status elements. Fire, electrical, and acid. That would be way too complex to do at a brief glance. Fortunately, the Subata wasn't able to be converted to acid. That would have been a huge boost to the build since we had some decent projectile upgrades and a lot of acid upgrades. But it still felt pretty strong overall once we got going. One close call when I was being a bit too greedy turning numbers off since they were making it very hard to see and move around at that point. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.